Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Safe Room with your boy, the President Sean Williams. Guys, the road to 100, episode 100 starts now. And I could not think
Whoa,
of
you
a
had
better.
me? Wow.
Well, I
I
mean, like
feel I feel special.
the road to 100 it's on now, and like I had to get someone very
Oh, okay.
special, and like the story behind it is very interesting for sure. But I just want to welcome a good friend that I met just over a month ago. He pulled up to my doorstep, and just from that conversation alone, man, we just exchanged contacts, things clicked and everything. I got Axel, but he goes by the rapper name of 80. My man, how's it going?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. Just want to say it sounds a little sus when you say I pulled up to your doorstep.
Oh my
What
god.
was that?
Okay, no. Okay, now since we're on that topic, let me. I want to really get my my. So I just gotta say this because I know a lot of people they get that notion of like, hey yo, fam, like why are you saying it like that? Listen, I
Yeah,
get it. But I also feel like if that's the first thing that comes in your mind, then maybe you need to reevaluate yourself as well. Because listen, there's nothing wrong. Because like again, I think it's just an instinct that has just been built from years. That's like okay, where it's just like,
yeah.
bro, like you. There's times you can restrain yourself and be like, you know what, I just won't say it. Like I know you didn't mean it like that, but I'm not gonna call you out.
Nah, I know you didn't mean it like that, and I didn't even mean to call you out. I was just playing, you know what I'm saying? Um, I like to joke around and everything. I really don't take that shit seriously. I'm not the sort of person who is gonna religiously say no homo every time, you know what I mean? I say something that could be really like that could be misinterpreted, you know what I mean? Like you said, I believe that whatever, if you feel that strongly about it, then you should probably have some type of introspective look about why
Mm-hmm.
it is. But yeah, I'm just playing. I really don't feel that strongly about it.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool, man. But hey, I'm glad to have you on the podcast and everything.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great to have this conversation to get to know you a bit better, and hopefully
Hmm.
everyone listening gets to know you a bit better. Everything. Before we get started, I do have a couple of questions prepared. It's sort of like a new segment. So I will say
Okay.
shout out to Alex and Owen from the Hustle Over Everything podcast. When I had them for my 75th episode, which was just 2 weeks ago, they
Okay.
this was after the recording actually, and they were actually kind enough to like give their feedback in terms of like, hey Sean, like you're doing your thing. Maybe you want to do
Hmm.
some different things to improve on, maybe add a segment. And
Hmm.
if anyone knows, like this podcast, I don't usually do a segment because I feel like my whole personality speaks for itself. So it's
True.
like I don't need to do that, but we're gonna try it out. If it works, then it works,
Yeah.
and y'all let me know.
Anything to
Okay,
make it better, right?
facts. That's a fact. So yeah, the first question, man, just outside of like you being an artist, a rapper, like just tell me in one sentence about yourself that you want people to know.
One sentence. That's crazy. Yeah, that's kind of crazy because there are a lot of things that I want people to know. Um, Actually, you know what? I think I have the sentence.
All
Um,
right.
Give me 2 seconds. Let me make sure that it comes out right.
It's like hold on,
I
hold on,
would
hold on.
say, hmm, I'm a passionate person with a lot of things to say. But sometimes I get the impression that my ideas or my thoughts won't necessarily be well received, which is probably one of the reasons why I turn to music because it's a medium that allows me to express myself.
Yo, yo, you killed that answer. What? Wait.
So,
That's deep. That's real deep. That got me thinking for a second because like I feel that's a similarity I share. It's like sometimes I don't feel comfortable sharing my ideas like with everyone, especially on social media, because like social media is definitely an
yeah.
outlet where like it's hit or miss. If you feel confident enough to share your takes, you can, but other people
Hmm.
might need a more safer space. So that's why I have like
Exactly.
this podcast, like that's the name, the safe room, pun
Yeah.
intended.
And it's also, in a way, it's also, I don't really care. It's not that I don't care for feedback, you know what I mean? Because, like, especially doing what I'm doing, I have to be able to take on constructive criticism. But it's more like there is a lot of noise out there, you know what I mean? And I don't really care for it. And I don't even want to be in a position where I have to entertain it, which at times on a lot of social media platforms, when you're a public person, you have to entertain the noise, or you can't help yourself from entertaining the noise. But with music, it's like, this is my thing, this is my art, this is how I choose to express myself. And whoever likes it is naturally going to gravitate towards it. I don't have to go out of my way to convince anyone that what I'm saying is right or not right or everything. You know what I mean? Like you said, it's definitely a safer space, and just a more personal way to express myself.
That's a beautiful take right there, man. It's a beautiful take. So the next question for this segment is what is your favorite genre of music right now?
Afrobeat. I don't even have to think about it. Um,
Oh, okay. I did
yeah.
not expect that answer. I'm not gonna lie with you. I did not expect that.
Nah, I love Afrobeats. I've always loved Afrobeats. I'm Cameroonian. I was born in Cameroon and everything. Funny enough, I had to leave Cameroon and Africa to start appreciating Afrobeats a bit more. Because I remember as a kid,
Oh,
before I left, came here when I was 12. Before I left, I was a hip hop head. All I listened to was hip hop. I didn't really care for an R&B. I didn't really care. Like, I knew about Afrobeats because I'm in Africa, and when you go out, you party with friends or whatnot, and the family, you hear it. But it's when I got here and I got the overdose of rap, and the fact that as time kind of went, well, that's another conversation, but the music kind of, the quality of the music has slowly, you know what I mean, gone down. Yeah, I've just gravitated towards Afrobeats because sometimes it's not even about words with Afrobeats, it's just vibes. Nah,
yeah.
I love Afrobeats. Burna Boy is one of my favorite artists.
All
Um,
right.
yeah.
Did you listen to the new album?
Yeah, I did actually. I probably have to listen to it again once, just because I liked it off of the first listen, but there were a lot of songs that I don't feel like I appreciated enough, and I'll definitely have to go back to. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely Afrobeats.
Yeah, but no, that's an incredible story, and the fact that again you had to like leave Cameroon just to, and at first again you were a hip hop head, but just like to leave it to actually get that appreciation. I feel that's what a lot of people, cause like if imagine if you're from the Caribbean and it's like you don't get the aspect of like soca music or even calypso, and it's like I
Yeah,
actually have to leave that place to come to like Canada, the States, or wherever, and it's like you realize that was actually something part of your like your childhood, your heritage that you're missing, and because you're
yeah,
around it all the time, you don't realize that it's
exactly,
there.
exactly. Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
almost don't appreciate it, but then yeah, like when you come here, then you're like, I actually have, you know what I mean, a culture, so to speak. You know what I mean? I actually have things that I could turn back to. I don't have to, like, you know what I mean, get lost in the sauce of whatever is mainstream over here. Whenever I don't want to listen to whatever is going on this side of the ocean, I could always turn to Afrobeats, and it's a completely different vibe, and it's still great music.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So the next question is an interesting fact about yourself that you rarely share with people. Now, this might be a little personal, but like, I mean, I'm curious. Is there maybe something about you that not a lot of people know about?
An interesting fact about myself that I don't share with a lot of people. Mm, Hmm. I
It's a
don't really.
sticky one.
I don't know if this speaks to my, like, does it have to speak to my, yeah, I don't know if my answer is actually genuinely going to speak to my personality. Yeah, I don't know if
I
it's going to
mean,
reveal any, but I would say, um, I love violence, but like not. No, 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 no,
all
no,
right,
no,
guys.
no.
That's the end of the episode right there. Make sure you like and share.
No, but like not like, because obviously I know people can't, you know what I mean? We're civilized, but
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy violent content. And to the
Okay.
and it's to the point where, like, if I weren't who I was in another world, I see myself as like a CIA agent type of person. And I see myself torturing people to get answers out of them, and I'll just leave it there.
Mm. Hey, look. At first, I was kind of like, I that was probably one of the most unique answers I have ever heard from any question. So like, but when you said violent content, that made me think like, I've never heard of something like that, like violent content. Like, so like, do you mean in the sense of just like you love again you kind of paint a good picture and scenario like if you were like a
Yeah,
CIA agent in like
yeah,
another world like if we're talking
yeah,
like the multiverse in a way
yeah, yeah.
so I'm assuming it's a situation where it's kind of like you feel open enough to like I want to get information out of this person or I want to make sure that if there's something that you're keeping I want to know.
More like I wouldn't hesitate to do it.
Right, okay.
Like,
that, that's interesting though.
like, okay, I've had this dream. Not dream, but, well, I used to have this recurrent, like, sort of. Have you ever heard of what's it called again? Oh, why am I forgetting the term? It's that thing that lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. And lucid dreaming is where you're in a state where you're aware that you're dreaming and you know that it's a dream. So you almost have like an element of control on what happens in the dream. And
Right.
I went through a stage in my life where that happened to me a lot. And
Uh-huh.
I always had this lucid dream where there was, I don't know, some a school shooter, not a school shooter, but like it was like an organized crime type of thing where they try to take the class I was in hostage. And basically, the scene is the guy is in front of class with a gun or whatever, and then he's a sadist, and he's trying to play this game where he picks one of us to give us the gun and to watch us basically struggle to shoot one of our classmates, right? Because he
Mm.
wants us to shoot one of our classmates, and he wants to, like, the fact that you struggle with it, and if you do it, seeing the person, you know what I mean, struggle, like all that kind of sick shit that gives him pleasure. Yeah. So it's that sort of scene, and he picks me out. So he gives me the gun, and what I do is, so he's expecting me to struggle, right, and to hesitate or whatnot. I don't struggle.
You
I
just
shoot
get the
someone. Yeah,
clap.
I just shoot someone immediately. And in my head, since it's my dream, I'm assuming that the fact that I shot someone immediately shocked him, right? Because he didn't expect me to be so willing to shoot someone else. So he got shocked.
Mm.
And in that split second where he's shocked and he has his guard down, I shoot him in the face too.
Yo. It's just like, hey, you want to do this? Like, listen, bro, I'm up. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
I swear, you're like Nardo Wick in that moment. Like, who wants smoke with me? Like, who wants smoke, bro?
Yeah, no. So yeah, that's the
Oh my gosh. No, and you know what? Because you mentioned that lucid dreaming, I can resonate with that because I think all of us have gone through that stage. It was the same thing for me too. Like for me, like since we're sharing it, for
yeah.
me, I was always saw myself as again like that CIA agent, but maybe not a CIA agent because like I'm not gonna work for like federal, like more of
Yeah.
like a PI, like a private
Okay. Okay.
investigator,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and like I would have my clique with me, and like they would run behind me. I would call the shots and everything. Like I would make up all the characters, and like
Yeah.
bro, even if it was a situation where like the story was going on and somehow I die, like I would
Yeah.
just break the fort wall, be like, no, I'm not dying yet. I'll revive
Exactly.
myself and we're still
Exactly.
going.
I mean, it's your dream. Why would you want yourself to die, right? No.
Right, right. But no, that's such a strong sentiment too, because some people kind of like if they study like dreams like that, people
Yeah.
wonder like, I wonder if that's like, and again, an alternate reality that we can actually see ourselves. Like, if we weren't living in this world right now, would that actually happen in another world? Like, it makes you think for a second, actually.
I mean, I haven't read like I haven't read on it a lot just because I don't feel strongly about it yet, even though I haven't dismissed it. And I'm just talking about the genuine possibility of the like parallel universes actually existing. Because I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that there is actually a section of like r real scientists that are dedicating time and resources to what's it called? Into this to actually find out if it's real or whatnot. And like I said, I haven't completely dismissed it, but I don't feel strongly enough about it yet to like do a lot of deep reading into it or whatnot. But it wouldn't surprise me just because like we know so little about the universe. And I was talking to someone once, and they said to me, as human beings, like we can't even grasp the concept of something existing beyond the universe. Like what makes us think that the universe is all that there is to reality?
Right,
Uh,
right. No, that's a deep conversation, and who knows? Maybe it's something that I venture to myself on the podcast in the future. Maybe I get you back on and we can have a conversation. Maybe
yeah,
we'll bring a specialist
yeah,
in
for
you
sure,
and me. Like,
for sure.
um, okay. So the final question of this segment here. So, what is your personal safe room? So, this is kind of like taking off the name of the podcast. So, for you, what would you consider to be your personal safe room?
Mm, personal safe room. I mean, in a way, you could say I don't want to say my home, just because I know if I had a bigger place, I wouldn't really hesitate to invite, you know what I mean, um, people, just to have a good time or whatnot. So I would probably say the studio.
Mm,
Um, when I'm in the studio and like I actually get the chance to record some of the songs that I spent time writing, and I actually like you just look at it go from you writing it on a piece of paper or on your notes app to turning into an actual song. All the things, the little tweaks that you got to make and everything. When I'm in there, I feel like I could really just forget about the world and focus on exactly what I'm doing. Um, yeah, because I would say even sometimes writing at home can be hard, but there are times when I went to the studio with someone, I heard a beat that I'd never heard before, and then I just vibed off like the energy in the studio, vibed off their energy on the song, and I wrote a dope verse just then in the
mm.
studio in like 30 minutes or something. So,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Um. No, that's a great answer, man. And that kind of segues into like the stuff that you're doing right now. Like you said, you're an artist, you're a rapper, and I remember you telling me this the first time, and I just literally that same day when we met, I literally went to find you. I'm like, okay, let me go find this guy's music. Let me see what's he about. And like, yo, bro, I think for me, because like I want to be honest. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Your sound at first threw me off because I'm like, I never heard someone sound like this on a track. Like his cadence is so like it's such a range, but it's so low. I'm like, bro, like I don't know where to like be like ooh or just be like
Yeah.
I'm lost. Like damn. So
Yeah.
like how do you really process yourself when it comes to like making these songs and like delivering your sound and your contributions to the track? Like I just want to know how does that kind of go inside your head and how you put it to into tuition.
Um, I mean, I feel like when I write songs, I usually have a vision for how I want the song to end up. Unfortunately, um, it's not always possible to make your vision come out exactly how you want it to be. And I think one of the reasons why you might have felt that way also when listening to my music was because if you look at some of the songs that are out right now, a lot of them have a lot of space between them.
I
Um,
did notice that. I did
yeah.
notice that.
So, um, that speaks to, I guess, my growth, um, not just as an artist, but also in terms of like the team and everything that I'm working with and everything. So it's I started off um with a certain idea of what I wanted to be like, because one of my favorite artists in terms of rap are probably people like J. Cole. Um, I fuck with Drake. I'm not even gonna front. But in terms of like actual, to me, J. Cole is who I would put as number one. I know a lot of people would say Kendrick or whatnot, and
Bro, to me it doesn't even matter. Just like listen, I just
yeah,
want amazing music. That's all I
yeah,
want.
yeah. So just like seeing someone like J. Cole, whatnot, but then there are also a lot of times when I feel like um what I want to put into the song isn't going to come out the way I want it to come out. Because, like I said, sometimes I have a lot of things to say, and sometimes you want to say so much, but you got to remember that this is also art. You can't say it in a way that it feels like you're giving a sermon to people. If you want to preach, like go to church or go on stage, become a motivational speaker or something like that. But this is music, so you, in the way that you're speaking, um, I guess my cadence is based on my artistic view plus the fact that I want to slip in words of like knowledge in there. So I kind of go for like the smooth vibe. Um, and I'm also growing as a person, to be honest. So I think my sound hasn't fully come out yet. That's what I would say. I would say my
Mm,
sound, you're going to probably really get into what my sound is actually about in the next few songs and projects that I put out. But a lot of the stuff that I was doing before was experimental. Like my first track, Miss Call, that's me channeling my J. Cole energy.
right.
The song after that, um, the song after that, it didn't come out the way I wanted it to come out. Um, but I felt like I needed to put something out. So I kind of put it out. The song after that was, we didn't know each other at the time, but while I was posting it, I made like I put in that it was supposed to be an experimental track. Um, so all these songs, like they've kind of helped me get to know myself as an artist a little bit, get to know what I like, what I don't like, you know what I mean, how I would like to sound, how I wouldn't want to sound, and whatnot. Especially when you also get feedback from other people, right? Because that's another thing. When you want to make it, there's a difference between what you want to do and what your skill set is actually meant for that's going to sell.
Mm, yes, yes. That one's resonating with me, and I think it's resonating with everyone listening right now.
You know what I'm
That one
saying?
right there.
Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like personally, like I said, I love Afro beats. You know what I mean? But I think with all the smoking I've done, I've kind of ruined my vocal cords to the point where I can't invest myself completely into Afrobeats just because I don't have the voice like that anymore.
Mm.
Now maybe if I took a I went back I took vocal lessons and I went to a singing coach or something like that to try and get back some of what I had before, then I can it would be easier, which I am planning to do because I love Afrobeats and I'm definitely going to do that at some point as well. But yeah, as of right now, my voice isn't it's not meant for Afrobeats. It's not meant for singing. That's another thing. I love singing. R&B is also one of my favorite genres. Um, but again, I don't have the voice for it. So if I want to make music, I kind of have to go towards a genre that fits my skill set, irrespective of what I would really want to do.
Yeah, I think that part right there of like what you want to do compared to what skill set you have and how you work with it. I think that's a lot of for a lot of people they don't realize that because you want to have that mentality of like if I have a vision on something I want to achieve it and that's totally fine. I think
Mhm.
it's more understanding that if you can't get it done, then you're not hurting yourself. It's just more of
Mhm.
like, I have these skills and I'm just going to use them to the best capacity, the best capability as possible. So for you to realize that already in the game is like such a strong testament because some people, if I ask them like, oh, I heard this track of yours and you sound a little bit different to what I was thinking, they'll just be like, bro, what you talking about? Like I sound like that. Like they'll be like, yo, I think you need to fix your ears. But you're just like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm growing. And like that's the
Yeah,
thing. What's important? It's self growth. Realizing
yeah,
that you know what? Even though you might get people who are still like, oh my god, this track was fire. Or there might be some people like, it's cool.
yeah,
For you, it's like you're telling yourself like, okay, I did good, but I know I can do better. Like, what
yeah.
can I improve on? Like, what are some things that I missed out? And like that's really really good. And I feel like a lot of people need to practice that too. We shouldn't just be focusing on like perfection at its fullest, and if we don't hit it, it's just, oh, I'm not worth it, or like my skills are
Mm.
irrelevant. It's just, again, like that's where you get such in a bad morality where you're like, okay, I'm ready to give up. But for you, it's like, nah, like I want to do this, and even though I may not be venturing at this at the point, someday if I keep practicing, I might unlock a new element. Like you said, you want to do Afro beats, you want to do R&B, and honestly, even hearing some of your tracks, I can hear you doing that. But again, you're still telling yourself, I want to work on the skills I have right now. So when I'm such a pro at it, that like
Mhm.
when people hear me, it's like, oh, like he's mastered it. Like that's like his bag. Now when
Mhm.
you jump in and see like, oh yo, 80's doing R&B now,
Mhm.
80's doing Afro beats,
Mhm.
it's like, damn, like he's so versatile. So like
Yeah,
again, such a strong testament that you keep for yourself, man.
yeah, man. Like for example, in TDKS, like the one of my songs, "They Don't Know Shit." Um, I'm telling you, the vision that I had for that song, it was meant to be like the track of tracks, right? But once you get into the studio, you listen to yourself, you know what I mean? Plus, you know what I mean, the because don't get me wrong, everyone I've worked with was really good, you know what I mean? But different people have different skill set. So there might be one engineer that's better at bringing out this side of you, and there's another engineer that's better at bringing out something else, right? And also the engineers that I've been working with, especially the one I'm working with now, I've been working with for the past year or two, is also the same age, so still fairly young and is always growing. And because of that, uh, he's also improved since then, right? So at the point that we're out now, when we're recording songs that I haven't put out yet, he's much better at bringing out, you know what I mean, those chords, that actually allow me to do a song that's a little bit more melodic, as opposed to around the time when I dropped TDKS, where I still felt like we needed a lot of work done, but I dropped the song anyways because I felt like I needed to put content out. And something else is like, I feel like with any craft, it's a journey. Like if you're serious about your craft, whatever it is, the number one thing you have to tell yourself is that it's a journey, and there is no way you're gonna get any sort of um what's it called? Um
Like
like instant
any
validation or like quick
any
results. Yeah,
recognition, no,
yeah,
like, celebration. You're not gonna
yeah,
get like people right behind you off the jump sometimes.
yeah. Like you like the whole thing about really needing that those 10,000 hours to put them in, and then I mean to become a master. Like the more I'm doing this, the more I'm realizing that it's not just some cliche thing that people are saying. Like you genuinely have to put in hours and hours and hours, what I mean, of work, repetition to get better at it. And yeah, before you get to a point where you've reached a level of mastery where everyone can see it and be like, nah, he's doing some good shit over there.
Hey guys, so this is Sean in post production, and I just want to let you know that this will be a two-part, as you can see from the title of the episode. So make sure you stay tuned for part 2 in the future. I promise you guys, the second half of the conversation was absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to drop it for you guys when the time is right. But in the meantime, make sure you subscribe and follow the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Make sure to follow me at The Safe Room Official on Instagram. Check out my website at www.thesaferoompodcast.com. And also, one more thing that I want to announce. I'm trying to do more MCing. So anyone who's looking for an MC, holla at your boy, holla at the president, because I'm open for services. I'm trying to get my name out a little bit more, let people know what's up, let them know that I'm here and I'm here to make a statement. So again, I'm trying to become more of an MC. So you have any opportunity for the president, you have any opportunity for me, please give me a shout out. And guys, don't be afraid to hit me up for any special things, because I'm just trying to do the best I possibly can. But that's gonna leave it off for this episode. I'll see you guys next time.